guys and girls, Emma again. Welcome back to another video in this Patreon series. First up, I've got an apology. It's been a while since the last video. Mostly, not so much because I've put other things first, but probably more because I've been a little bit stuck. However, we've got this huge cardboard box full of parts, which completes our pattern making, really. First up, we've got a base, and we've already got a casting for that, which looks something like this. Makes for a fairly solid little engine. Next up, we've got the two halves of the pattern. The main pattern. We've seen plenty of those. But if we have a look, complete with core boxes, that sits down on the main base. Then from there we've got this pattern, or this box, which is a core box with a tapered plug through. Like such. And that's the water jacket. That gives us a moulded sand core, something like this. This one's been cast for a little while, and I'm going to do another one before I test them. And this one, which is the one I've just completed. This gives us a piece that's the inside of the crankcase. Basically, this cutout here matches the inside of that side of the casting, and this cutout here matches the inside of this part of the casting. There's actually a centered piece that goes in there, which has basically a core print for the other core that goes through the cylinder. That core box is the final one, and this still has damp paint, so I'm not going to handle it too much. But this is just basically a round bore that comes apart. I made this up out of two pieces of I don't think you call it coving. I just bought some timber from the hardware store with the right radius. Looks like this. Put four pieces together and made a full circle. So that's the main casting, body casting. We'll get back to these in a minute. And there's a fair bit of work in those, as you can probably see. We also have a lot of small parts. This is the core for the piston that we covered in the last video, and this is the piston outer or casting, which gives us a proper piston. That looks something like this with gudgeon pin bosses in there and everything. That's what we're going to end up with in cast iron. So we also have a cylinder head, which has a spark plug port and a hot tube bracket if we decide to go that way, valve guides, and a flat surface here for basically the manifold to mount on here. We also have a crank which goes on the end of the crankshaft, and they're the main castings that are going to be done in cast iron. There's still a manifold here, which is quite a tricky little piece. I'll cast that in gunmetal or aluminium or something here on my end. I've already cast this in aluminium, and I think we're going to leave it like that. We could send this away and get it cast too, but it's going to be a fairly heavy bit of cast iron to bring back. In reality, the aluminium will do nicely. The other pieces that need to be cast are the valve actuating rod on the back. It has two little supports which screw nicely on this and on here. I hope that's what they're for. There's also a pipe flange here and there, and there's a lot of little metal parts. So at this point, they're the parts that are going to be cast in cast iron, and we're glad to say that they're actually finished. So I've messed around for most of the afternoon and pounded some sand into these. Made a couple of cores here and never had a lot of success. Made a couple of cores in this one and had very little success. This one we know is going to perform reasonably well, but it does need some modification. Next job with these really, I think, after having said that they're finished, is to put some more holes in here for gas. We've fixed the gas problem here with this one by adding these two holes, just so that this space down in here gets a little bit of CO2, so that we get a hard core that we weren't getting before. This one needs a hole in the bottom here and a rod right through, I think is what's going to happen. Probably we're going to pound him full and then push a rod up from the bottom and then gas him and leave that in there, or a tube or something like that. So we'll have a think about that. This one I think needs probably a couple of gas holes in the top here as well, just so that this part in here, which is up above the cylinder, gets enough gas to go off as well. So they're all just little bits and projects. I've run out of sand after all that, so these are going to sit here probably for another week, a bit longer, and I'm going to make a set of casting or another set of cores next weekend and sort out the problems. And to double check them, I'm going to pour this casting in aluminium, so that's going to be in the next couple of weeks, just to go to the foundry. And when that's done, we're going to post these off. So thanks for your patience so far. These patterns have been a pretty steep learning curve for me. I'm glad that the end is sort of in sight, but they're very, very, very close to finish, and with a little bit of patience they will pound, or they will make reasonable cores as they are, but I think we need to spend just a little bit more time on them. Probably another coat of paint and a few little modifications, and hopefully next time you see us we'll be pouring an aluminium test. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching it on Patreon, big thanks, huge thanks for everything that you do. No idea what it means to me. Gives me time to make projects like this, and also dollars to make projects like this, which is amazing. So really appreciate that. You know who you are. There's a list in the credits anyway. But more soon, guys and girls, and be kind to each other.